Your connection is your protection. Welcome to another episode of Self-Employed Success Secrets Monday edition. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how to keep your clients protected from outside forces. Now, the key word here is outside forces. If you want to keep clients around, and this is coming from experience being with people for years, is that if you want to keep clients around, you got to keep the inner enemy under control, which is yourself. That means doing a good job consistently, and remembering why you were hired. You were hired because you worked hard and you were smart. That's really it. That's really the reason why people hire you. And what we're going to talk about in this video is the shell. Like, think of a turtle shell, or think of the roof of a house, the exterior of a house, protecting what's in the house. We're gonna talk about the shell, okay? And how your connection with your clients is the protective shell from the outside influences of friends and family talking crap about why are you with that dentist, or why do you go to that barber? Once had a friend at Georgia State. His name was Michael. Shout out to Michael. He lives in Charleston, South Carolina right now. But one day I was talking to him, and I was like, I used to go to this barber shop in Atlanta. It was like $2 to get a haircut. For real, it was a barber school. So like, they were in training, and I was just like, you know what? I'm living on a budget, so I got to make it happen. So I ended up going to this barber shop. It was real cheap. And I was telling Michael, I was like, hey Michael, you should come, get your haircut with me. And he was like, he was paying like $15 to get a haircut. And I'm like, dude, you're paying 7 times more than I am, man. You can have that $13 and take it to a restaurant or something. And he stopped me. He was like, no. He was like, even if it is more, I got a connection with my barber, okay? Now, that's how powerful connections are. And that connection will be kept unless Michael either moves or the barber does a bad job. Okay, so remember, you're gonna have outside threats. There's gonna be other companies that are gonna wanna take your lunch. There's gonna be people saying, man, why are you paying so much for that person? Remember, only one person can be the cheapest. There's gonna be people saying, oh, it may have been people that they may read reviews about you online that detract you, okay? You're gonna have naysayers doing what you do, and that connection with clients is gonna help you preserve it as long as you do your part of doing a good job and continue to say and do smart things, and continuing to show that you have a strong work ethic. Remember, that is the crux of, that's not the right word. Those are the two main reasons why people hire you: because you're smart and because you work hard. You have that perception. Someone literally told me that they hired me because I was professional. I came off professional. And so, you want to come off professional, which just means that they thought I came off as like having my stuff together, whether I actually do or not. Okay. And also, don't gimmick people. Actually have your stuff together. Don't act like you have your stuff together unless you actually have your stuff together. We do not promote lying or deceit or subterfuge on this channel. Anyways, how to create this connection. One way to create this connection is through a similar life experience. Like, for example, if you played sports in college and your client played sports in college, you could talk about how, oh yeah, I remember playing college basketball or baseball or football, and you can relate that to them, and you can understand what they've gone through and how it's influenced their life, and you can talk to them that way. Or you could get clients based on a religious connection. Remember, the connection too is not based on any work that you're doing. So like, for example, like if you have a lawn care business, it's not about, oh yeah, this lawn versus like we did your next door neighbor's lawn, we'll do your lawn. It's the connection is based on things that have nothing to do with the technical expertise of what you're doing. Like, for example, right, you could be a lawyer, or a lawyer is a good example. You could be a lawyer and you could say to yourself, you have a client, you're like, okay, I'm a religious person. You tell them that, like, oh, I'm religious too. Like, you're a Christian, we're Christians, we work together. Or you're a Muslim, we're Muslim, we work together. And that could be something that you connect on. The important thing is to have a connection, okay? Because what I've seen is that clients that stay for a while, there's some sort of connection. Whether you guys both value excellence, like in general, or you both value, helping people, whatever. There's a lot of ways to find connection. But if you don't have a connection with people that you work with, that's where you get the short-term ones that only last a few months. And remember, this is assuming that you're doing all the work you're supposed to do. You're doing your work correctly. You're turning it in on time. It's high quality. Like, we're assuming you're really good at your job. This connection is going to help you. It is going to protect you from, like we just talked about, the outside influences that want to destroy your business, okay? The thoughts and actions of other people. When people are like, why are you paying so much? Or this person's not as good as he's purported to be. He's spurious, okay? It'll protect you. Your connection is your protection. And the thing about the connection too, that needs to be said, is that it needs to be genuine. It can't be fake. Can't be feigned. It's just got to be. This is why you should be yourself. The beginning you see a client who's interested in you. When someone takes a step towards you, you should take a step back, meaning that you be yourself. Don't change yourself to get them to like you, okay? You have two choices. When it comes to getting clients, you can fake to get what they want to please them, or you can be yourself and I don't care if you hire me. They're more likely to hire you if you have that I don't care attitude. It's like, I'm already in abundance. It doesn't matter whether you come here or not. Okay, and this relates to the video we made before about empathy gets you in the door, but expertise closes it, okay? That's a good way to connect too, is empathy. Like, let's say you're like a single mom and you have a dry cleaning business, and you meet somebody else while they're out there, like, yo, I'm a single mom too. I know what it's like, and you can relate to them. Remember, in a relationship, to relate. You can meet somewhere there's common ground. Okay, and also too, stay tuned for the very end for the surprise, is that your connection is your protection from the outside influence that are going to try to detract your business, okay? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and so just do the best you can. This advice only applies if you're doing a good job, okay? But you want to make it as genuine as possible and be able to relate to people to help them get to where they want to go. That's why people tend to work with people who look like them and think like them, because there's a very strong connection. And the thing is, you're not going to connect with everybody, but you will connect with somebody. Okay, you're not going to connect with everybody, but you will connect with somebody. And it's finding those people that see life the way you do. They have the same vision, values, and complementary qualities. We made a video about that. But just keep these things in mind, knowing that your connection is your protection. Is that if your clients need you long term, remember, there's no manipulation. We're not trying to hook them. We're trying to help them. Made a video about that. We're not trying to keep them for life. We're trying to help their life. Is that if your clients really need your help and you're doing a good job, you're being smart, you're working hard, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and you have a connection, you're almost guaranteed to work with them years into the future. Okay, just those three elements. This is what has been observed personally, is that if you are doing a good job and if you have a good protection, if you have a good connection with them, it's going to endure into the future. Okay, because they've literally found heaven. They found someone who can do the job and they like the person who does the job, okay? And that's it, okay? But you form the connection at the beginning. But if you make mistakes and mess up, you chip at that protection, that protective barrier. And then if you mess up enough times, the barrier is gone, and then they're open to outside attacks. They're open to someone saying, oh yeah, he has a lot of negative reviews on his website. He also has a lot of positive reviews, but no one mentions that. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Just know that your connection is your protection. Find ways to connect with clients in a real, genuine, and authentic way. This goes on our surprise. Today's surprise is like attracts like, okay? People who are just like you are gonna find ways to your business, so don't worry, just focus on doing a good job. Okay, that's the number one thing. Focus on doing a good job, be yourself. You get a connection by being yourself, okay? Don't fake, okay? Don't be a fake flake or a snake. All right, last, as always, unsuccessful people make decisions based on their current situations, but successful people, you hopefully make decisions based on where you want to be, okay? Until next time, peace.